guys, how you doing? So I am doing a new video. I'm trying to get some painting organized, but as you can see I kind of got a little bit of stuff in my way. So I'm trying to clear some stuff up. So I haven't done anything meaningful for a while, and you guys are going like, yeah, what's going on? Well, it's none of your damn business. But, no, that was rude. I had some stuff going on. So lately did some unboxing videos and some other stuff, but really haven't done anything too meat and potatoes-ish, kind of with the hobby. So, kind of got my convention season started late this year. Typically convention season for me, historically, has started in December, January-ish. So, my convention season typically ends in October, November, starts up again in December, January. This year I skipped some stuff, some local things, little things that I've been wanting to go to, so didn't really do anything like that. This year my convention season is actually going to go from well, fully involved like it has been, to pretty much I'm cutting back. It used to be last year, the year before, a couple years past, almost. It was almost a convention a month for me. And I know some of the other guys attended a lot of conventions, but my schedule was always the fullest because I'm a fanboy, so that's what I do. Go to a convention a month, or two a month. So this year, things are kind of going to be scaled back a ways. Not going to be doing as many conventions, not going to be doing as much getting into new stuff or expanding anything that I have. I'm going to kind of try and limit what I'm buying and spending money on and getting into things. So my convention season starting late. It's going to be, I'm kicking off convention season at Orccon this year, which is one of the Strategicon conventions up in LA, over by the LAX. I believe it's at the Marriott this year. Don't quote me on that. But I'm going to be running some events. I'm going to be running some miniatures events. In Her Majesty's Name will be one of them. And I'll be doing some gaming, some board gaming, and some card games. I'm going to be running events for Boss Monster. I'll be doing some demos. And that's going to be good. It's going to be kind of a Boss Monster demos. And I'm going to be doing some... it's going to also be doing a Boss Monster tournament, which is going to kind of be great. So I'm going to be doing a lot of Boss Monster demos and a tournament that's going to happen Saturday night. Now the scheduling kind of got screwed up. I was going to hope to do the demo for the tournament was going to be on Saturday during the day. Couldn't really make that happen. So what's going to happen is the tournament is going to be on... What day is the tournament going to be? The tournament's going to be Saturday night. I'm all for client. This is a new setup for me, so I'm not even where I used to be. This is totally new. But I'm going to be doing... The tournament's going to be Saturday night. It's going to start at 10 in the evening. It's scheduled to go 4 hours. So for those of you that are good at math, nobody's good at math. Should be done about 2 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm going to have enough spots for 12 participants, so I'm hoping to have at least 12. Well, at least I'm hoping to have at least one show up. But I'm going to be painting Dracula. Focus. It doesn't want to focus. Dracula. So, I'm hoping to have at least that many people. I'm going to be experimenting with the way that I have the tournament set up, because I've never had a Boss Monster tournament, and from what I understand, no one else has either. So, yay for Billy and his experimental nature. Woohoo! Yay! So, hopefully it goes well. I think it'll be fine. But you never know. Tournaments can be bleh. I was afraid that if I didn't have enough numbers or enough participation, I'd have to charge for the tournament, and that's something I don't like to do. Unless it's going to go to the store or something. But I was able to actually procure enough sponsorship from various people. If you check the Facebook page, I actually have the sponsors listed that were able to contribute. I'd like to give a special thanks though to the stores, Comic Quest and Monstore, for generously providing prize support. That is great, you know. And I will be repping for Comic Quest at the convention. Well, not repping, but I will be representing them. People ask me where they can pick stuff up, and we're like, Comic Quest, dude, CQ online. You know, so it was really cool. Some of the other vendors threw in some prize support too. They didn't have to, and it was super nice. You know, especially since Lost Monster is a card game that not a lot of people are familiar with. But they were willing to give it a shot, and I'm using Scroll and Caucasian Flesh for Dracula. I'm going to use just a tiny hint of white because he doesn't have much flesh, but he's also kind of pale. Actually, I'm going to see how the Scroll and the Caucasian Flesh look together and see how that works. Maybe I won't have to have the white, because white's kind of a pain in the ass of a color to use. So the other cool thing that I was able to get going for the tournament was, you're looking at that water, you're going like, what the hell is he dipping in? It's pond water. I'm an eco-friendly guy now. But, no, Brotherwise Games actually was able to come through for me. They're sending me a box of stuff. I actually have the tracking number, and I'm waiting for it like crazy. But they are providing me with price support. So it's going to be, I'm calling it officially a sanctioned event. I don't know if it officially is to them, but to me, it's a big deal. It's like, I'm going to add a little bit of white to this. It's kind of a big deal that they're recognizing that somebody in the community is so into their game that they're willing to host an event. And it's just amazing to get that kind of backing. So, which has actually been my ultimate goal, is I don't want to get like sponsors, because I'm not about that, but I'd like to get enough, you know, of these entities that provide, you know, these people that I do the demos for. I want them to know that I'm out there. And I think you know, Octave, and this kind of is why we did, I said a little bit of white and then I'm adding the whole thing. That's why we were henchmen. We promoted these games and stuff, and we liked promoting the games and getting them out there and introducing people, new audiences to the games. You know, that was fun. And it's not necessarily that I need the company's permission or their understanding, but I think it'd be cool if they knew that somebody was out there promoting this game that they create, that somebody likes their product enough that they want to share it with other people. And maybe I'm being naive, I don't know, but I think that's a good thing. So that was a ramble, guys. You could have stopped me at any time, but so yeah, so Brotherwise Games is kicking in with some price support, and that's pretty awesome. I'm super big fanboy now of theirs. What else am I going to be doing at Strategicon? My work schedule is kind of iffy right now, so for sure, I'm going to be there Friday and Saturday. And I will be, you know, late there both days because the minis department has been having trouble getting events going at this event. And I think part of that is the timing of the event. The event is going to be in February on President's Day weekend, which is how they're selling it, right? What they're not telling people is that President's Day weekend also falls on dun, 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 Valentine's Day weekend. Who knew? Now, I know a lot of nerds don't date, but a lot of us are married and have to be grateful for our spouses who put up with our hobbies. And we have to acknowledge them at least once a year. So we can be greedy and have our garages and all this stuff for the rest of the year. But this one time of the year, we need to be ready to be like, hi sweetie, I love you, ha 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 ha. So we have many things that I think are affecting them. But I think that's the biggest thing that's affecting the attendance thing, or at least for the miniatures end. You know, that kind of is a shitty deal, because it's always a good time. I love going to the miniatures areas over there and just learning new games, or even watching new games. That's how I found out Freeblade sucked. We played it and it was awful, and then we decided we don't ever want to play it again, and we're not going to tell people ever that we played it. So forget what I just said about playing it, as it never happened. But you're wondering where the light is coming from that's hovering. I bought one of these nifty headset things off of the Amazon for two reasons. My eyes are getting worse and I can't see as well, and for the up close stuff, and the lighting in here is bad, and I didn't realize that this thing, when I bought it a couple months ago, has a built-in headlamp. Fascinating. Way to read the product description, Billy. No, really, I didn't read the product description because I saw that it was cheap, and I was like, shit, I'll take it. But this thing is nifty. It's my first time using the lamp, and it actually is super nice, so it's great. No, but I think that the timing of the convention this year is what's affecting the attendance and the participation. So I'm going to be there. You know, fortunately or unfortunately for me, my wife still isn't back, and neither are the kids, so I have kind of freedom to do this convention right now. And thankfully for all my price support, the only money that I'm putting out for this event is, drumroll please, gas. Because I've already got the second copies of Boss Monster. I've got multiple copies of that game. I bought them last year for doing demos at the Strategicon convention at Gateway, so haha. Yeah, there we go. I'm actually going to give one of those away as a prize, I think. And I'm also going to be giving away, as soon as they come in, and I'm hoping they do, one of the expansion packs that they have, so that they came out with recently. They recently just hit the shelves, so hopefully it'll be a good time. But the price support's going to be amazing, and I hope I have a decent turnout. I'm always so nervous before an event because you just never know how things are going to turn out, who's going to show up, who's not going to show up, who's going to intend to show up, and whatnot. So I'm hoping to have a good turnout. And like I said, you know, I'm always so nervous about these things. And it's not necessarily that I've ever had bad turnouts at events, but you know, you always wonder, like, are people going to be interested? Is someone still going to be, you know, is somebody going to be willing to do a tournament that late at night? And I know that we've done Malifaux tournaments at late at night, you know. So hopefully, what I'm doing right now is I'm just highlighting his face a little bit, because some of the paint didn't really pick up as well as I hoped. Don't worry, I know you're saying he's a little bit too pink, Billy. I'm going to lighten that up later with another color. I'm going to go over it with some diluted bone. I'm going to use like a wash kind of thing on it. I don't know how that's going to work out. Because last time I used a wash, it didn't work out at all. That's right, thanks for reminding me. This was my first experience with washes. Doesn't show up too good, but I didn't think it turned out too good. I'm not happy with it. I'm thinking of stripping it and redoing it, but meh, whatever. No, but so I'm gonna be repeating this event at Comet Quest if it goes off well. That's what I'm hoping to do. So if I can make it, you know, if it's good, I'm gonna do it again at CQ, and I'm gonna hopefully get a good collectible card game, or not a collectible card game. It's more like a living card game. But actually, what would you classify Boss Monster as? Because you kind of do negotiating, you trade, bidding. It's a card game. So I'm gonna try and repeat it at some of the stores. I might even try and do it at Monstore later on. But I'm gonna see first how it goes at CQ and stuff. But I'm really kind of super excited about it to see how it's gonna go at the convention. Like I've said, I've done tournaments before and I've done events and stuff, but I've never done an event for this particular type of game at this particular time of night. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it'll work out well. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. You know, my convention season's getting started late, and I can't. You know, people have been asking me, what cons are you going to this year? I honestly can't answer people because I don't know. It's super lame, but like literally this convention, I wasn't even sure I was going to go until just before they closed the deadline for event registration, because it was like that close. So now that I know I'm going, I'm like, shit, yeah, you know, and thankfully all these people, these companies and groups are able to put together some prize support. What am I looking forward to at the convention? I'm hoping to get into some Star Wars, maybe some X-Wing. You know, I have 2 starter sets that I haven't gotten anyone to play with me yet. So I'm hoping, I'm not going to take mine, but I'm hoping to pick up some games and learn some rules and some tricks. Maybe do the Kessel Run scenario that they have. I am also going to be doing Exodus. Exodus is a card game. It's a living card game produced by a brother and sister. They're teenagers. I met them last year. Yes, this is something I've been meaning to mention, but I keep forgetting. I met them last year, and I was supposed to do an interview with them because it's so fascinating to me that a brother and sister, teenage kids, you know, because all we hear about teenagers these days is that they're assholes and they're arrogant and they do stupid things and all this shit, you know. And so this brother and sister, I think they're twins, and they're Latinos or Hispanics in origin. They're some kind of wetback. I don't know if they're from an island or if they're from a desert, but they are Latino in origin, and they raza. I gotta be all ethnic about it. They created this card game, which is super great. You play dragons that are competing. It's got an interesting mechanic where you have to control resources to do, and they do simultaneous battle, your dragons versus someone else's dragons, and etc. And I played it last year. I did a demo. It was super hilarious. I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna try and pick up a set this year. I didn't get a chance to pick it up last year. I was gonna do the interview last year and I was gonna pick up a set, but then I wore the wrong shoes, and I might have mentioned this in another video post-con last year. But I basically blistered the crap out of my feet, and then I found out after the fact that I had a stress fracture. So I was not too conducive to doing anything useful for myself or anyone else. So I didn't do it. But I contacted them. I apologized for being a douchebag. And they're all about doing an interview and getting to know me again. And so I'm going to be doing an interview with them. I should be done with events on Friday night at at 10. So I'm going to try and squeeze it in at 10 on Friday. If not, I'll be doing it on Sunday. And they're going to be doing a tournament for their game, which is going to be awesome. I'm trying to get in on that. What am I not looking forward to at this convention? LARPers. Those guys that play Werewolf. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Werewolf. I'm not looking forward to Werewolf. Never look forward to Werewolf. Ever. Ever look forward to Werewolf. I have a theory that guys that play Werewolf are basically people that don't have hotel rooms. So what you do is you stay up all night gaming, and you can stay at the hotel, and you just fall asleep and take a nap here and there throughout the night, and nobody bothers you because you're actively gaming for the most part. So, I mean, besides being stinky, you don't have to worry about staying anywhere at the hotel and putting out money. That might not be true for every single person that enjoys Werewolf, but I've been doing conventions since the 90s, guys, and I have noticed a pattern in people that wear the same clothes, and they're all the werewolf people. Now, is that fair for me to stereotype people? No. No, it isn't. But, as someone who's been stereotyped his entire life, I think it's okay, man. So, yeah, that's my idea of the werewolf contingent of peoples. If anyone's got a different opinion, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll ignore it, because I think it's wrong. So yeah, no, but, Looney Labs is going to be there, Andy, the creators of Flux, the card game, and the board game, which is cool. I did some stuff for them last year. They provided me with a great deal of price support and email support, and Amber over there was really great at communicating with me, and they sent me posters, they sent me everything, like limited edition stuff to give away at Comic-Con, so it's going to be really great to see them and thank them in person. They're probably going to have no interest in who I am, but I'm going to be like, I'm the dude that represented you guys at Comic-Con, man. Step up. And then they're going to be like, oh yeah, you're that guy that kept bugging us. So, yeah. That's what I'm planning on doing at Gateway or Strategicon. Right now I'm painting some of my dark for Anima. Octave has been generous and gotten me a lot of models and stuff, and honestly I just haven't been in the right mental frame of mind to paint. But today, since I am up, well, I've been up for like 3 days, and I haven't slept very much, so but since I'm up and started painting anyways, I'm going to try to paint some of these Anima minis to tabletop quality or standards. Okay, pet peeve I'm going to bring up, guys. I mentioned it on the Facebook, so some of you guys may have already seen the rant, but there's this bullshit standard that's, I don't know who started it, I'm not going to point any names, but there's a group of guys out there that seem to think they're elite painters, which is fine. I mean, their paint jobs are pretty good. Note I said pretty good, not elite. But they always tell people to paint with the most expensive bullshit there is. They always tell people to go out and buy the most expensive brushes there is. And they don't really tell you how to use this stuff, and it's stupid. Oh, and they'll give you a tutorial video on the most random fucking shit. I keep cussing, and I apologize. If you have kids in the room, well, that's what you get for breeding. But they will do tutorials on the dumbest stuff without even having the full fact and knowledge. I'm really, I'm really getting tired of tutorials on how to do miniature photography from people that haven't even done basic photo classes. And some of you guys are going like, well, what's up, Billy? What does that have to do with anything? You can do Photoshop at home, blah, blah, blah. Some of you guys have seen some of my pictures of my minis on the Facebook. For the most part, I take pictures of my minis with a cell phone. What does that mean? Well, it means, number one, that my minis look good all the time. Not all the time, but for the most part, they're fairly decent looking pictures of minis with a cell phone. You follow? I am using a cell phone to take fairly decent pictures of miniatures. And I'm going to let you process that for a second. So what does that mean? That means that I'm not being retarded and taking shitty pictures with a cell phone. And these guys are talking about how you need to buy a camera, you need to buy this kind of lens. You don't need to buy a damn thing. Learn to focus your lens. Or, better yet, here's another idea. Don't zoom in. Here's a tip for you guys doing miniature photography. This is going to be my freebie for you. This is going to be your life knowledge right here. When you're taking a picture of a mini with a cell phone, don't zoom in on it. Move your hand backwards and forward until your picture, and use your finger on the screen to click it until it focuses and it looks right. Now, there's some guys that take these really elaborate pictures and they want to get every section of the mini in view and highlight it and explore it with one shot. You can't do that, guys. You're taking a picture of something that's about an inch tall. Anyone that's taken a selfie and has been a pervert knows that you can't take anything that's an inch tall and try and do a good job with it. But you got these guys. Now what makes me, okay, here's where you're going to be like, well, what makes you the asshole that can be the authority on this? You guys are so quick to judge. What makes me the authority? Nothing. Nothing makes me the authority. Except this little known fact about Billy. Billy went to art school for visual media. I was going to be a journalist, and part of that was learning to do, I was going to do photojournalism. Part of taking photography in college or in art school is they want you to be well-rounded, so I had to do product photography for up to a point. Uh-oh. Roll? What is product photography? Product photography, thank you for asking, is taking pictures of some shit that's sometimes very small. Sometimes it's very big. For the most part, it's very small, and you have to do your best with your skills as a photographer to make it look good in as few shots as possible. So, I may not have a degree in it, but I'm qualified, I think, to talk about it. And that's what gives me my authority. That's what gives me the ability to get pissed off when some asshole goes, I should make a tutorial about that. It'll really help you guys out. No, you're not helping anyone because you know what you're talking about. You don't know the theory. You don't know the reasons that you do certain things. Here's the other hint that I'm going to give you. Lighting. Lighting helps. You could have the crappiest item in the world to take a picture of, but if you light that thing just right, just with enough light in the right places, it'll be the best looking thing, the greatest looking piece of crap you've ever shot. Because lighting and shadows affect photography. As soon as you can do that, and you don't have to go out, and I've seen this is one of the other things that pisses me off, is they tell you to go out and buy this expensive light box on Amazon or on eBay, and it's like, oh, spend like $500 on it. You know what you do for a light box, a portable one? You go to Michael's, or you go to a craft store, or wherever you can get it, and you buy some foam core. And you buy the white foam core, and you cut it, and you make yourself a box. There you go, you got yourself a box. You got yourself a light box for less than $5. I have just saved your life and your wallet. You should be sending me letters of gratitude right now. You don't need to buy an expensive light box, guys. You don't even have to have an expensive camera. I have a Canon SLR. It's a digital. But do I shoot my minis with it? No. Why am I going to pull out a camera with removable lenses to shoot a damn miniature? I'm not making catalogs. I'm shooting a miniature to put on Facebook or to put on my video stream. I'm not sitting here doing shit to make a catalog. That's the most ridiculous reason to buy an expensive. Oh, that was the other thing. Oh my god, there's so many things that I'm thinking about right now that have pissed me off. You guys caught me on a good one. Oh. Buy an expensive camera. Yeah, you need to buy yourself this SLR. You need to buy yourself that. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Why are gamers so eager to spend money on stupid things? I think that has to do with the whole GW mentality. Is they'll bitch and bitch and bitch about GW. Oh my god, it's an evil company. Ha ha ha. Look, their shares are falling. Ha ha ha. Guess what, you douchebags? It's the company you still throw money at. So if their shares continue to fall, who are you going to keep throwing money at? Fucking idiots. Am I angry about it? A little bit. Am I a little bit too angry about it? Probably. But there's a reason. It's these guys out there that promote themselves as experts or the voice of a community, and they want to talk about how you need to spend the most money to do things, and you don't. You don't need to buy expensive paintbrushes to paint. You don't need to buy a $1,000 camera to take a picture. You just need a camera. I will, if you guys want, if there's enough comments for it, and by enough comments I mean one, there's enough comments, I will do a series of pictures, of videos, actually just one video, I'm not even going to do a series. I'll do a video where I take a bunch of pictures with a bunch of different types of cameras, and I put them on and show you guys what the results are when you take your time and you're patient and you know what you're doing. But buying something because it's expensive doesn't make it good. And it's like I once told somebody, they wanted to buy expensive power tools because they thought buying expensive power tools is going to make them good at building shit. And I was like, no. Unless you know how to use the tools, you don't know what you're doing, you're wasting your money. An expensive power tool is just that. It's an expensive power tool that's not going to do you any good, for one. And you're just wasting your money because you don't know how to use it. So what are you going to utilize? What are you going to spend the money on? Oh, I'm gonna, no. Save your money. Budget. I know the economy's rough and people are trying to spend money in the economy, but personally, do that, but don't buy expensive cameras. Don't go out and buy expensive lighting setups. You don't need to do that. You can do it with desk lamps. Shit, I'll show you how to do it if you want. And I'll show you guys how to do good photography. Now, what makes me the expert on photography? Unless you've taken pictures of a bar mitzvah and a 10 by 10 room, you guys have no room to talk. I've done it. And I've done it well. I got invited back. But don't spend your money on dumb things, guys, please. Like, I don't understand. Why do we as a community feel the need to spend money on stupid things just because someone says to? I have a Master Series 22 airbrush. Yes, gasp. Oh my god. Am I going to go out and buy an expensive airbrush because some dude told me to go buy an expensive airbrush? Series 150 on a certain brand? No. Because number one, I airbrush with terrain. I airbrush terrain. I don't airbrush anything else. And that's ridiculous to do it any other way. Why am I going to put myself through that? Why am I going to spend that kind of money to go buy an expensive airbrush? And guess what? I don't airbrush that often. When I do airbrush, I'm going to tell you the most extensive thing. We're learning English. Inglés sin barreras, boys and girls, it's for you. But one of the things that I airbrushed that was super extensive was when I made my dugout for my Blood Bowl pitch. That was it. And my pitch. That's it. That's the most extensive thing. And otherwise it's just terrain. I don't care otherwise. And if someone tries to sell me an expensive airbrush, they can kiss my ass. Because I don't need to do things on the expensive side, guys. I ordered some Vallejo paints recently when they were on sale. I got a killer deal. I spent about $30 to get about $60 worth of product. Whoa, Billy, why didn't you tell anyone about this? Because I didn't think about it and I did it on a whim and I shouldn't have. But for the most part, I used Craftsmart paints from Walmart. That's what I use. And Apple Barrel. And I use some of these other ones, some of the better brands, but I don't use anything really super expensive. and I paint my minis, and my minis come out decent, and I'm happy with them. So, you know, don't go spending money. And I diverted from my original rant, which was going to be the whole tabletop mini thing that I was talking about earlier. Some of you guys caught that on the Facebook. That is a stupid standard that somebody invented because they thought they needed to grade ability for some reason. And here's why I hate it. Number one, I hate elitist culture. I hate elitist things. And a lot of people in the gaming community come from riffraff, I want to say. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but we are, for the most part, in gaming culture, we are the outcast from other groups. We are people that were never really in a group. We're the outcast. We're the misfits. And for someone to go and create this need for a standard for a group of people that are already outcast, how dare you? We're creating our own caste system from people that came as outcasts from another caste system, and that just it's stupid. I hate people putting down their abilities and their skills as painters and hobbyists because this isn't really tabletop quality, but this is what I tried. And people are apologizing for their skill and for their something that they've spent nights working on. They're apologizing for it. Why? Why are you apologizing? Why are you offering an apology for something that you worked on that you were proud of, but you're not proud enough of it to stand by it and say, yeah, this is what I did. This isn't tabletop quality. This isn't my usual standard bug. Really? Like, come on. Let's not apologize for ourselves. Let's not make people apologize because they don't have a specific skill set when it comes to painting. That's some elitist bullshit. And it's not even about titles for me. It's about a certain class of elitism where people that are pro painters or expert painters, they want to try and classify themselves as above being, everyone else, and that's bullshit, because we've all come from the outside. We've all been part of that misfit group, and well, not me. I was busy doing other shit, but we've all been there, and we're creating this artificial caste system just for what? We're supposed to be a community that encourages each other, and we're sitting here putting down our own work, our own thing, our own hobby, our own skill sets. Why? Because we need to apologize because it's not to someone else's tabletop standard? Fuck that noise. Right now I'm working on a piece of terrain as the skin dries on those guys. I've started 5 models today. I must be losing my touch. Usually I don't do this much work anymore. But I'm trying this dry brushing technique. I'm not really happy with it. But I'll go over it with a darker color later. But, we're creating this caste system for ourselves. And I don't know about you guys, but I've never met anyone whose work I wasn't impressed with or wow, there was never a person whose models I looked at and said, wow, that looks like shit. And I've never looked at my own models and said, damn, Beans, what are you doing? What are you doing over there, man? So I don't understand why we have this need to do this to ourselves. What are we doing? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Yeah, you can't really tell. But it's not the tabletop quality. That's what I don't get. Like, you're bringing a model. Here, model. Guess what? Tabletop standard. The fucking thing is there. You know what it is. You know what it represents. So why are we creating these artificial caste systems? It was like when all these people were super hot on calling themselves pro painters on eBay. So what? I've seen some of that stuff. I wouldn't pay $300 for anything on eBay when it retails for $25. I'm not stupid. No offense to you guys out there that are commissioning paint jobs and getting stuff sold at that price, but this guy, not so much gonna buy. Let's not create a caste system, guys. Let's not punish each other for not having the same skill sets. Let's not do it. Let's not be what we came from. Let's not be what we've gone away from. High school's over, man. We don't need to have cool kids in the jocks anymore. Or the producers. We don't need to have any of that shit. You want to jump on YouTube and make a shitty YouTube video? Shit, I do it all the time. Go for it, knock yourself out. But I see these guys talking about how they need to buy a special camera, they need to buy a microphone rig. I am using a Microsoft camera that I picked up because it was recommended to me by someone else who uses it. That's it, and I got it on sale for $30. But am I going to go out, and I use Microsoft Movie Maker to edit my videos together. Am I going to go out and buy the Sony product that's out? Although, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of been looking at that Sony video editing thing. A little bit kind of awesome, but I'm not going to go out and buy it. Because I think what I put out is satisfactory, because my videos aren't about the quality of the video or the content of the actual video. It's the content that I'm giving you guys, my opinion, my observations of what's going on in the community, and that's what I'm trying to give you. That's what I'm trying to express. I don't care about, oh my god, can I do enough swooping techniques? Can I do can I do this? Can I use this kind of star swipe? I don't care about that. I'm going to give you guys my opinions on things, and you agree with it or not. It's your opinion versus my opinion. But I'm not going to sit here and sell my opinion as fact or the holy trinity of things, but it is my belief that when we start using terms like tabletop quality, we're doing a disservice to the community. And by the community, I mean me and you, us, people. We're hurting ourselves, and we're punishing ourselves for stupid things, and it seems to be gamer culture or nature to be self-loathing, but don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Don't hate your work. Don't apologize because your hate standards aren't to someone else's. Don't do that. Don't ever apologize to someone because you put out the best that you could and you think they're not going to like it. Don't do that. Don't ever apologize for something you spent time to work on. I don't. I'm trying this new thing. I added a little bit of black ink to the red. I'm going to try and dry brush this well thing a little bit with a little bit of rust color. Try and see if the bricks can have this rusted look. So the video's gone a little bit longer than I would have intended, but so Strategicon is going to come up, and I've got some other events coming up at CQ and maybe at Monster if I can pull it off. Otherwise, guys, happy gaming, and may the dice always roll in your favor.